With the past week's cooler temperatures, it brought out the fall colors. Our crews captured this Sky 5 video this weekend in Winslow, where the leaves are starting to change colors. I gotta get out there on a hike or a walk to see those peak fall leaf colors. Hey, Noah.
Yeah, hey Lauren, yeah, those leaves really starting to change out there. And they typically start changing in the month of October. Now that we're done with that month of October, let's kind of recap it real quick and what we saw. It was a well above average month in terms of those temperatures. In fact, your average high in Fayetteville was almost 76. It was almost 79 there in Fort Smith. Your average lows were also a little bit above average. And then when you combine the average high and the average low, you get that mean temperature, and that's that third row there. And those mean temperatures for both Fayetteville and Fort Smith were about 5 degrees above average, which doesn't really seem like that big of a difference, but when you average out all the above average days and all the below average days, they usually try to cancel out over a typical month, but actually this month was not the case, and those above average days really trumped those below average days. So we were about 5 degrees above average. It ended up being one of our warmest Octobers on record. In fact, here's Fayetteville day by day in the month. We don't have to pinpoint one specific day, but just know that the first 18 days in Fayetteville and in the River Valley all saw red on the map, also above average temperatures, and that really kind of delayed some of our foliage timing out there. If you look at our fall colors, this is courtesy of Explore Fall, this map here, and it's showing this dark red in some of these peak colors, although I'm thinking we're probably more closer to that high color. As we're seeing that warm October, it probably pushed back our peak foliage here by about a week, maybe 2 weeks. So I still think we're going to see those peak colors here over the next several days. And a good reason why we're going to continue to see those leaves changing is another cold morning on tap for your Monday. These are morning lows with those upper 30s, low 40s in northwest Arkansas, and pretty much similar temperatures in the River Valley. Overall, upper 30s, low 40s. So no freeze potential. We don't have to talk about that. And we're not under any frost advisories, but it's still going to be a chilly morning waking up out there. You still want to dress warm out there, but you don't really need that extra layer by the time we work our way into your Monday afternoon, because look at these high temperatures into the upper 60s, close to 70 here in northwest Arkansas. We're going to be touching those lower 70s here across the River Valley. So a very pleasant day on your Monday. Also plentiful sunshine to share around with everybody for your Monday, but also we get that the rest of this week. And because of that, we actually see that jet stream shifting way to our north. And that's what's going to give us those warm and dry conditions because of this ridging pattern that's going to set up across the central part of the United States. That's going to give us more of those temperatures in the 70s. So we're joining the 70s by Tuesday here across northwest Arkansas. By Wednesday, you're already about 74, 73, 71. So above average temperatures look to continue before a cold front knocks our temperatures down a week from today. And in the River Valley, we'll see those temperatures well into the 70s, 75 on Wednesday and Friday, and even some upper 70s there on Thursday. So this is about 5 to 10 degrees above average. It's not record territory. We would have to warm those temperatures up by about 5 to 10 degrees. So we're not going to see any records, but we do see a little bit cooler temperatures a week from now. And part of the reason why is it looks like some models are converging on some of a troughing pattern starting to dig into the eastern half of the United States, and that looks to happen about a week from now. So the cold air is going to be bottled up here in the Great Lakes, even the Northeast, and the big question is how cold are we going to see those temperatures get here a week from now? But here's that 10-day forecast. All we get to talk about is those warmer and drier conditions. Here's these next several days. We see those 70s and we see those dry conditions. We got a little 10% chance there on Friday, but overall the better moisture and the best forcing is actually looks to be just to our north. So that's why that low chance is there on Friday. There's that cold front that moves in Sunday, so high temperatures look to be in the 50s temporarily before we start to see temperatures slowly warm up a little bit into those 60s with just a slight chance of rain. So that's something to look out for here across northwest Arkansas. I will say Tuesday and Thursday look to be a little bit breezy. We'll have those wind gusts close to about 25 miles an hour. But overall, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any wind advisory criteria, nothing like what we saw earlier this week on Wednesday with those 40-mile-per-hour gusts. That's not going to be the case this week. And in the River Valley, those temperatures are going to be warming up to about 77, like I just highlighted on Thursday. It's going to be cool mornings here these next few days, so temperatures in those 40s, but we do warm up with those morning lows in the 50s. And again, like I said, record territory is more like those 80s, so I don't think we're going to get to the 80s, but it's going to be certainly an above average start to the month of November, pretty similar to what we started in October. That front knocks our temperatures down on Sunday, and it looks like to see those cooler temperatures at least to start out next week. But it looks like these great afternoons are going to be nice to maybe eat lunch outside or maybe take the dog out for a walk once it's warm, just because it's going to be a warmer than average start to November.
Yeah, Noah, how are we doing with the time change?
We're doing good. Now that my car radio is finally up to date the last 6 months, it was...
Of course. Yeah, he told me he hasn't changed. He didn't change it from the last time we did daylight savings.
Yeah. Confession, but it's out there, so go ahead and make fun of me.
I guess it was too much work to like press the buttons and change the hour on it.
Two buttons was too much.
Yeah, too much. Whatever. All right. Thanks, Noah.